Students, so today's topic is oblique incidence on the surface of flat conductor and oblique incidence on the surface of perfect dielectrics. Okay, so if you recall, in the previous class I explained oblique incidence. So what was oblique incidence? If the incident wave is in such that it makes an angle with the propagation axis when it strikes the boundary, then it is called oblique incidence. Okay, so in previous class we considered the various formula: electric field, magnetic field. We defined various angles, okay, for oblique incidence. So previous class we had the generalization concept. So now we apply this oblique incidence to particular cases. What are the two special cases? One is your perfect conductor or flat conductor. Number two is your perfect dielectric. Okay. So what will happen if the wave comes at an angle with a propagation axis and strikes the boundary of a conductor? Similarly, what will happen if the wave will come at an angle with the propagation axis and strike at the boundary of a perfect dielectric? So these two cases we are going to consider. Okay, so now first let us look at our topic. So this is our topic: oblique incidence on the surface of a flat conductor. Okay, flat means perfect conductor. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? So that means you have to consider a plane wave that is coming at an angle with the propagation axis and it is striking at the boundary where the medium 2 we have taken as a perfect conductor, okay, or flat conductor you can also say. So now look here, the line at the center is, you know what, it is the z equal to 0 axis. Already we did this in the previous topic, so that's why I have not elaborated this. Okay, the same figure, just for recalling purpose I have drawn here. So now you look here, incident wave is making an angle theta I. Similarly, transmitted wave is making an angle theta t. Reflected wave is making an theta r. Okay, so now theta I is the incidence angle, theta r is the reflected angle, theta t is the transmitted angle. Okay, okay, so now let us look at what will happen in case of a perfect conductor. Okay, so before going into the two cases of perfect conductor and dielectric, first a law is defined. Okay, that law is called Snell's law. So this law gives the relationship between various angles that are created here. So what are the angles created? Incidence angle, reflected angle, transmitted angle. So what is this Snell's law telling? So Snell's law tells that sin theta t by sin theta I is equal to ki by kt. Okay, that means sine of transmitted angle, the ratio of sine of transmitted angle to the incident angle is equal to the ratio of propagation vector of incident wave to the propagation vector of transmitted wave. Already we defined k propagation vector in the previous class. So what is the propagation vector? K is equal to kx ax plus ky ay plus kz az. Clear? So now, because you know that propagation vector is what? Inversely proportional to what? Phase velocity. So that means ki by kt is also equal to vp2 by vp1. And what is the formula for phase velocity? Root over of mu into e. So for vp2, okay, it is mu 2 e2 vp1 mu 1 e1, but this is what? Inversely proportional. Okay, so you know phase velocity is inversely proportional to what? Beta. So the total formula becomes how much? sin theta t by sin theta I is equal to Ki by Kt. So this is also equal to Vp2 by Vp1. This is also equal to root over of mu1 epsilon 1 by mu2 epsilon 2. So already this you know in the previous topic. We already discussed the formulas for phase velocity, the formula for beta. So when you divide the two phase velocities, okay, so in the beta what is there? Conductivity is there. So conductivity cancels out. What remains? Only root over of mu1 epsilon 1 divided by root over of mu2 epsilon 2. Okay, so this law is called the Snell's law. Clear? Now here we define one term called as refractive index. Okay, so what is the refractive index? So refractive index is taken by considering the phase velocity and the speed of light. So I am denoting the speed of light as c. Okay, so if light speed is c and phase velocity is Vp1, then N1 is equal to C by Vp1 is the refractive index of medium 1. Similarly, N2 is equal to C by Vp2 is the refractive index of medium 2. So I am defining two refractive indices. One refractive index for medium 1, another refractive index for medium 2. So for medium 1, what is the refractive index? N1 is equal to C by Vp1. Similarly, N2 is equal to C by Vp2. Now, the Snell's law is also written in terms of the refractive index as N1 sin theta 1 is equal to N2 sin theta t. Or simply you can write N1 sin theta I is equal to N2 sin theta t, where theta I or theta 1 you can take is what? Your incident angle, and theta t is your transmitted angle. So already the incident angle, transmitted angle, reflected angle, all these angles we have discussed in the previous class. So simply this is the special case. Okay, just an elaboration of the topic taught in the previous class. So let us not go into that. So here you have to remember that while we consider oblique incidence on a surface of a flat conductor, so here there is, okay, the Snell's law that you have to use to determine what? To determine the relationship between transmitted angle and incident angle. So that relationship is sin theta t by sin theta I equal to Ki by Kt. Since propagation vector is inversely proportional to phase velocity, is equal to Vp2 by Vp1. Since that is also inversely proportional to intrinsic impedance, so this equal to root over of mu1 epsilon 1 by mu2 epsilon 2. Clear? Okay. Then again what we define? We define a new parameter called the refractive index. So refractive index, in terms of refractive index, the formula is N1 is equal to light velocity by phase velocity of medium 1. N2 is equal to light velocity by phase velocity of medium 2. Now if you look here, so in this formula you see N1 is inversely proportional to Vp1. N2 is inversely proportional to Vp2. So that means what? If you look at the Snell's law formula, sin theta t is equal to Vp2 by sin theta I is equal to by Vp1, or sin theta t by sin theta I is equal to Vp2 by Vp1. That means transmission incidence is equal to medium 2 phase velocity by medium 1 velocity. That means sin theta is directly proportional to phase velocity. Now refractive index is inversely proportional to phase velocity. So that means sin theta is inversely proportional to refractive index. Clear? Look here, sin theta t by sin theta I is equal to Vp2 by Vp1. That means transmitted is for medium 2, incident is for medium 1. So that means sin theta is directly proportional to phase velocity. Now refractive index is inversely proportional to phase velocity. That means sin theta is inversely proportional to inversely proportional to refractive index. Okay, so what I can write? Sin theta I divided by sin theta t is equal to N2 by N1. Okay, clear? Sin theta I by sin theta t is equal to n2 by n1. Why? Because it is inversely proportional. Incident is inversely proportional to your refractive index. Okay, so if sin theta I by sin theta t is equal to n2 by n1, so sin theta I multiplied with n1 gives you what? n2 into sin theta t. Clear? Sin theta I by sin theta t equal to n2 by n1. So let us multiply the sin theta t that side. So what we get? n1 sin theta I1 is equal to n2 sin theta t. So this is another form of Snell's law in the form of refractive index. Clear? So next we look at the special case. So let us first take the case of a perfect conductor. So for perfect conductor, what will happen in the oblique incidence? You have to derive this Snell's law, and the following conditions you have to impose. For perfect conductor, conductivity of medium 2 will be infinite, intrinsic impedance will be 0, refractive index you have to calculate, reflection coefficient is equal to -1, transmission coefficient is equal to 0. So for perfect conductor, all these parameters you have to remember. Already we discussed this in the previous class. Okay, so perfect conductor means how much is the conductivity? Perfect conductor, that means 0 resistance. So conductivity is infinite. Clear? Similarly, perfect conductor means intrinsic impedance is 0, resistance 0, impedance 0. So medium to intrinsic impedance is 0. Similarly, transmission coefficient and reflection coefficient you have to calculate. So reflection coefficient is equal to -E1. Since eta 2 equal to 0, so you will get reflection coefficient is equal to -1. Similarly, transmission coefficient is equal to 0. Okay. So next consider the oblique incidence on the surface of perfect dielectric. So you know, for perfect dielectric, conductivity of medium 1 equal to 0, conductivity of medium 2 equal to 0, reflection coefficient is real, transmission coefficient is real. So already we discussed this in the previous class. Okay, what will happen for perfect dielectric, for perfect conductor? So in this case, simply you have to remember what? Now when you are considering oblique incidence, you have to relate all the three angles that are formed: angle of incidence, angle of reflection, angle of transmission. So all these three angles are related by the Snell's law. The Snell's law also relates what? Propagation constants or vectors, also the phase velocities, also the intrinsic impedances. So again there you define refractive indices. So refractive indices again linked to your sign of angle of incidence and transmission. So Snell's law can be put in two ways. This is the first format, and in terms of refractive index, Snell's law can be put in the second format. Okay, so this formula you have to remember. Okay, then you go for the conditions. What will happen in oblique incidence if a perfect conductor is there? What will happen in oblique incidence if a dielectric is there? So when the incidence will be oblique, if you consider a perfect conductor, so similarly to the normal incidence, okay, various conditions will exist, and the wave will come at an angle and it will reflect back at some angle. Similarly, if you consider the surface of perfect dielectrics, the following conditions will exist as for the normal incidence, but the angle formed in incidence, reflected and transmitted will be related by the Snell's law. So in this topic we covered Snell's law and what will happen if oblique incidence occurs in case of a perfect conductor, and what will happen if oblique incidence occurs in the surface of perfect dielectrics. Okay, so these conditions you have to remember. So in your exam, this particular topic is very important. Okay, most of the times the question comes like this: derive the expression for oblique incidence on surface of conductor. So this Snell's law you have to write, and these particular conditions you have to write as I have written one by one. Okay, so already we have derived this in the previous section, how it is infinite, how it is 0. So simply just I have written here. Clear? So this completes our reflection of plane waves. So what we did first? First we considered normal incidence. We find out electric field, magnetic field. We find out transmission coefficient, reflection coefficient. Next we consider oblique incidence. In oblique incidence again we find out electric field, magnetic field, transmission coefficient, reflection coefficient. But in oblique incidence, extra thing what we find is the Snell's law. Okay. So in oblique incidence, because there are angles created between the propagation axis and the incident, transmitted and reflected wave. So to relate all the angle, the Snell's law is defined. Clear? So next class we will be considering various problems on waves. So how the problem kind will be? The problem will be like your electric field will be given, you have to find out magnetic field. One electric field format will be given, you have to find out phase velocity, you have to find out intrinsic impedance, you have to find out wavelength, all these things. Okay. So in this particular chapter of wave propagation, what we learned, first we took a plane wave. Then we consider the various solutions of the plane wave, electric field solution, magnetic field solution. Then we consider what will happen when the wave goes in a perfect conductor. We derived various parameters such as propagation constant, phase velocity, wavelength, intrinsic impedance, loss tangent. Then we consider what will happen, the wave will go in your insulator or perfect dielectric. Then we find out the same parameters. Then we consider what will happen if the wave is moving in two mediums. So where two mediums are there, a boundary is there. So the wave will come from one medium, strike at the boundary, some part of the wave will reflect back, some part of the wave will transmit. Okay, some part of the wave will reflect back after striking at the boundary, some part will transmit. So when we consider special cases for normal incidence, first we consider the wave is coming. Okay, first we consider that the wave is coming in 0 degree to the propagation axis. So that is called propagation axis in 0 degree, that is called normal incidence. So there you consider two cases, dielectric, conductor. Again we consider wave is coming at an angle with the propagation axis, that is called oblique incidence. So in oblique incidence again we derive electric field, magnetic field. In oblique incidence there is a new term, that is the propagation vector. Okay, in normal incidence you define propagation constant, but in oblique incidence you define propagation vector. Then you extend the study to case of similarly perfect conductor and dielectric. And in oblique incidence a new term that is we are going deriving, that is the Snell's law. Okay. So in next class we look at various problems relating to the wave solution equation, then finding out the various parameters of the wave, then various problems on your reflection of wave in perfect conductor, dielectric, normal incidence, oblique incidence. One by one we solve this. Okay. So you go through all the theories from chapter number from topic number 1 of this chapter. Okay, from module 3, from first class. Okay, that means wave equation, and you complete up to this. So all these are related with each other. Okay, then in the next class I will ask you questions and I take on various problems. Okay, so remember, you have to remember every formula. That is very important, because in EMT you will get maximum number of problems. Okay, so derivations are there. I have somewhat minimized, okay, the derivations, whatever is required. Okay, so let us meet in the next class. Okay, so you try to go through this. Again I am revising on this topic of today, that today we considered oblique incidence, today we considered Snell's law, today we considered oblique incidence in case of perfect conductors, today we considered oblique incidence in case of perfect dielectrics. Then we derived the necessary conditions. So you go through this topic from wave equation solution up to this. Any doubt you ask me in the class timings as per the timetable. Okay. Okay. See you in the next class. Bye.